Yeah. This is Alex the Beer Master. Welcome to my channel. This is Alex's New Year's blowout with myself, Alex the Beer Master, Bumpy Road, and John and Nelly from Georgia Beer Reviews. Now, is other people going to be joining? I don't know, but we'll see what happens.
All right.
Today, we're going to be reviewing spirits known as whiskey and hard liquor. I have Crown Royal, and it is 40% by volume, and it's 80 proof. So, shall we dig in? I think so.
Right.
Go ahead there, Bumpy.
All right. I actually have it's considered whiskey, but it's by Moonshiner from Tim Smith from the Moonshiners TV series. I have the Climax Whiskey Wood Fired Appalachian White Oak. It is aged in oak for 24 hours. And in one of the episodes, they show how they went about getting the notes of a barrel aged whiskey in a short amount of time. So my first time having this, so see how it is.
All right. Yeah, they probably char the hell out of that wood to get that flavor. I mean, 24 hours, that's insane. Yeah. I'm very interested to see what that's like. Okay, so yeah, I've got the Lord Calvert Canadian whiskey, which is a cheaper, probably less good version of the Crown Royal. It's just a cheap Canadian whiskey. I've had it obviously by itself, and I think it's pretty good. And you said we could do whatever we want with our spirits, Alex. So what I'm going to do,
because
I'm going to put a shot of this in a glass, and then I'm going to pour an entire beer on top of it. I've got the Pontoon Brewing Fight Milk Oatmeal Stout. So it's basically, I'm trying to kind of create like a barrel-aged stout by putting the liquor in the bottom of the glass. So that's what I'm doing. And this is also 40% alcohol, 80 proof, same as yours, Alex.
Awesome beans. What is up, Jenny O'Brien? What is up, Jeremy? Nice to see you guys this morning or this afternoon.
Yes, and Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to both of you.
My New Year's resolution was I'm going to stop drinking. Apparently, I've already failed that.
Right. Yeah, that didn't work out for me either.
Well, first of all, if you stop drinking, then YouTube channel goes downhill.
Bumpy. Yeah, so those are my home brewing.
Yeah, and your home brewing would go downhill too. Yeah.
Even more than it already has.
Oh, Bumpy, keep up the work.
Jeremy, where you at, man? Get on here. Are you? Well, he might be working today. I don't know.
Jeremy, do you want me to send you the link, my friend? Say yes or no, my friend. If not, if you're working, there's always some other time. Appreciate you.
What is that picture of? Oh, okay. Maybe that's like balloons or something. I don't know. It looked like a fly, like the face of a fly staring out at the.
What are you
Jeremy says, cheers, Alex and crew. Happy New Year. And then he put some emoji next to it. I don't know what the heck it is.
Oh, it's a crown. It's a crown for like crown.
Well. We got a brand.
Or no, it.
I don't know what that is.
Appreciate
maybe
you,
it's, maybe it's like mistletoe with bells.
I hope you and your family feel better, legendary Brandon and Trish. I already know what's going on. I already talked to Trish this morning. So I appreciate you.
So, Alex, are we getting into these drinks yet? Or
yeah, I think it's time. Yeah. I think it's time.
All right. Cheers.
Cheers. Well, you want to smell it, or are we just doing a review? I guess we're not doing a review.
I don't know. You tell me. It's your show. Whatever you want.
This smells like vanilla, kind of like a vanilla alcoholic caramel kind of thing. What's up, Flacco? I sent you the link if you want to join. Smells pretty good. The color looks perfect, just like a whiskey. Kind of like a caramel brown color. And that's all I got to say. let's dig on in, my friend.
All right, cheers.
Cheers, my
Cheers
friend.
to you. I'm gonna smell mine.
I've already had this before with my friends, so
Any flavor notes in that?
it's very smooth. It feels a little burned down the throat. Of course, that's whiskey. That's why, even though it's smooth. Let me taste it again. Tastes very sweet. I taste a little bit of caramel, a little bit, but mostly whiskey. I really do not taste no caramel here, but it's very good. I would drink it again if I want, in a mixed drink or straight. Very tasty.
Yeah, the climax, the whiskey wood-fired Appalachian white oak, and the aromas. You do get some of the vanilla. There's a sweet oaky smell. I'm not really picking up on a char type note, but maybe that's where the vanilla kind of came from. Yeah, it's got some wood notes in there, anyways. So, cheers. This is also 90 proof, 45% alcohol.
And you got to understand, you would think, because this is a whiskey, you'd think you would get the smelling of a vanilla, smelling of a caramel, all that good stuff. Now, I really wish one day I would like to have J.O. on here, because J.O. knows a lot about whiskey and he knows everything. Yes, John knows everything too. But when it comes to
I don't know about that, Alex.
And Bumpy, but when it comes to the history of whiskey, if you want to know, you go to J.O. or you go to Rajay, not Rajay. No, you go to Rajay, I guess, but he does mostly beer reviews. Go to
Monterio.
Ron Terrio from Louisiana Beer Reviews, because he does all sorts of stuff, whiskeys, beers, anything.
So anything about whiskey you want to know, go to J.O. and Ontario.
Yes.
All right.
Yep. Because I'm not that good at knowing, because I just know it smells good, tastes good, and that's
Bumpy's face doesn't. It makes me think that he doesn't like his very much.
To me, it kind of has like a little bit of like a clay type flavor in it.
Blacko, what kind of whiskey you got there, buddy?
This is extremely hot.
Or
burning.
Spirits.
Blacko.
What's going on?
I'm doing excellent, my friend.
I'm going to go add some water to this and see.
Actually, if you add water, it's supposed to make it more flavorful. It's supposed to make it more, I don't know. It makes the notes more, the notes come up more. What's up, legendary Trish? What is up, Alan? Appreciate you.
Yeah, I saw your notification pop up. I just woke up. I was like, oh, I'm going to go hop on real quick.
Appreciate it, my friend.
Yeah. Start off the new year right with some little liquor in your system after last night, huh?
No, I didn't drink anything, so I'm good.
Okay.
I listen to my music. I'm relaxed.
Sounds like a good time.
Mm.
When I'm done,
the water at least mellowed out the burn a little bit. But
now, what happens if I pour a little water? That wouldn't be good though, because this is a cup of water. So how do I don't know how to.
Just a little.
If you want to add water to it, just a couple of drops, Alex. You don't want to add much.
Then how do I do it then? Because it's in the cup.
Just just try to add a very little bit.
I got this blended Scotch whiskey, the Chivas Regal, aged 12 years, product of Scotland. I'm always drinking this one. This is the bottle that my boss gets every year. Last year was a gold label. This year's a silver label, but he gets it every year from some dude, and he never drinks it, so he always gives me the bottle whenever the guy gets it. So this is my annual Christmas whiskey that I always get from work.
He gets. Wait a minute, your boss gets you the same thing every year. I don't want to complain. It's probably a good whiskey, but he gets you the same.
No, my boss doesn't give. He gives this to me every year, but it's because one of our patients gives him this every year. You know what I mean? So my boss does not drink alcohol, so he gives me whatever alcohol he gets in.
In my opinion, if people know that your boss does not drink alcohol, they should not give him alcohol for Christmas. And maybe
they don't know. They don't know. They just assume, since he's a doctor, you know, they just assume he parties. So
every surgeon needs a good drink.
I get it.
You know, steady the hands. You know what I mean?
Unfortunately, he's one of those doctors that he doesn't have to drink. He does his thing, and that's it. Let's see if this tastes like with water. What did yours taste like, Bumpy?
It still kind of has this clay to Play-Doh type flavor, but the adding the water kind of it made it so it didn't burn as much. I mean, this thing has like hair growing all over my mouth from how hot it was.
That's really tasty. And it has the burn, but it doesn't have the bad burn anymore. It's kind of lessened it up a little bit. Thank you, John. Thank you, Bumpy. Stuff's good.
I'm interested in John and Ellie's did his little thing work.
So yeah, I added. You have to put the shot of Lord Calvert into the fight milk, and it makes it extra fighty. So basically, it tastes like a really good stout, and you know you're getting the whiskey notes. It doesn't necessarily taste barrel aged. It tastes more like a stout that I put a shot of whiskey in. Maybe if I think I'd probably put a little too much, and maybe if I had like a better whiskey, like a bourbon or something that might complement the flavors of the stout.
Johnny boy, do you have bourbon in the house that you could try after you drink that glass? We can give it a
I'm not putting bourbon on top of the Canadian whiskey. That'd be way
No. I said when you're done drinking that glass, that would not be tasting good if you drink that now. Yes, if you drink that glass.
Yeah, I've always got bourbon, but I don't want to put my really good bourbon in. I don't know. Maybe I should have. But no, I mean, this is good. It's a good stout by itself. It's probably like a 93, 94 out of 100. So when you add the whiskey to it, it might raise it up 1 point. I think I put a little too much though, so I'm getting a little too much of the whiskey. I probably should have done a half shot instead of a full shot because it's already an 8% stout. So with a full shot of whiskey in there, this probably bumps it up to a 10% beer.
Probably 100, maybe even a 12 beer. Probably.
Yeah, probably not that much, but yeah, I mean it's good. It's a good stout that has whiskey in it. So
nice,
pretty good.
This one here has a smell of like I don't know if it's just me and I don't smell whiskeys too often, but it kind of has like a nail polish remover type of smell to it almost, and like a little bit of burnt barrels. Yes, not yet, baby. We just woke up. A little burnt bourbon barrels in there is what it smells like, or whiskey barrels. I'm sorry, but the smell is not too great, to be honest. It burns your nose hairs, but you know, we'll see.
I think mine gave me a bloody nose.
It's definitely got that heat on there. Very sharp, like very sharp taste. Very good.
Oh, it does have the heat. That's for
the
sure.
Legs on. Can you see the legs on this one?
Oh, that's nice and shiny, my friend. Oh yeah.
The legs just dripping off the side of the glass there.
Alex, did you not invite Whiskey Scout to this? He says
invited whiskey.
He says it's a shame I never get invited to Alex's
Robert, I did. I sent you the link. Get on in. I know.
Rob, get a
I'll
real
do it
whiskey
again.
expert in here.
I'll do it again, Robert, if I have to. Tell me. I mean, check on your computer. If not, I will send it again. Because I hit that G, and that was your email, my friend.
Hit that G.
You said G.
The G spot.
It was because this is Robert like this with his hand. You know, it's his picture, his famous picture. And here's
Alex,
Robert.
I'm gonna share it to the wankers, and just that way, if anybody else wants to join.
Is he in the rankers, Robert? Because if he is, then he could just jump on in. I hope.
Or I'll put it in the here. I'll put it in the IBRG. There you go.
You little white.
All right, come on in, Robert. I sent you the private link, and I know I did. I know that for a fact.
Yeah, who knows? You might get Ron in there too. If you put it in the.
Yeah, you don't know. You don't know.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I think that this bottle is gonna probably last me forever.
Yes, yes, I'll make everybody some in a second.
So there you go. Jump on in, Robert. I want to see what kind of whiskey you have, my friend. And I appreciate
No,
you.
baby, no, baby.
I sworn I said.
It's alcohol right now, so you gotta wait.
Oh, you're drinking alcohol. She has to wait. Oh, you're doing pancakes. Okay.
She wants me to do pancakes, but it's like almost noon. I'm about to make some burgers for everybody, so they can jump on the trampoline. I'm gonna make some homemade burgers and just chill on this relaxing.
Well,
day.
now that you're talking about burgers, what are you going to be putting on your burgers, my friend? Like, how are you going to make it?
I put the works on everything, man. I put crackers inside there. I put spicy freaking ketchup in there when I'm making the burgers, when I'm mixing them in, you know what I mean? So I make these really, and they taste so freaking good when you use spicy ketchup to hold them together. It's good.
That actually sounds pretty good. That's interesting.
Yeah, it's a whole new freaking taste to them, man. Like it really tastes good. I use the Whataburger spicy ketchup that they sell at the store, man. Put that in there in the ground beef while you're mixing it up with your eggs and your crackers and stuff. Oh man, it's fucking delicious. Out of the world. Put it in there in the ground beef while you're mixing it up with your eggs and crackers and stuff.
Hold on, there's an echo here going on. What's the echo?
Hold on, it's me. It's not me now.
It's always me. What's up, man? Cheers.
Not much. Okay, Alex, I am looking in my Gmail right now, and I do not have an email from you, and I have re-upped it 3 times. So,
you know what? I'll do it again. I'll hit that.
Well, he's in.
All right. It's all right. I'm here now.
We're here now. It's okay.
Okay. I saw your picture come up when I hit that G.
Hey, little knob.
Man, Robert doesn't play around.
If you're going to do it, you do it right. A rye on first day of the year makes a rye sort of year.
Nice. That's a right way to start off the year, huh?
I know. I already have my chicory coffee, so we're good to go there.
All right.
Just to let you know, Robert, my friend, I have this.
Crown Royal, just the standard?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe. Oh, wait a minute. You're saying there's other flavors of this? I'll have to look that up then.
Yeah.
About 1,000.
Yeah, they got salted caramel, apple, rye. They got all
This is
kinds.
not mine. This is not mine. This is one of my friends. So.
Yeah. I have a bunch of different aspects to it.
Well, that's good because then maybe I could dabble into the whiskey a little bit. Not often because I don't.
Man, if you do a new Crown Royal every week, you know what I mean. Go through the Crown Royal flavors every week. Do another whiskey beer stuff. You'll create a collection like a whiskey scout there pretty soon. You know.
Yeah, but I don't.
I'll be back in a sec. I got to close the door.
All right, go ahead. I don't drink whiskey that often. I just drink beer. But if I do,
well, the thing about whiskey is you're supposed to have it to not drink it that often, to have it to drink it whenever you do want to drink it.
Oh, okay. Because, like I said, I don't keep it that much.
I can keep a bottle sitting on the shelf all year long. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I can do about 100, 200, 300, 300.
I mean, Flagger, you gotta understand that stuff that's on top of your shelf next to your bar, that's from your sister and stuff. That's not from you.
That's from from a year and something ago, bro. Like I don't drink it too often, bro. It sits up there.
That's what I'm saying. She gives it to you, but you don't drink it. So I mean,
I don't drink it. I drink it every now and then, but not too often.
Yeah.
Okay, this is 115 proof, 57.5% alcohol by volume. It's a store pick from Flight Club, Tom's Handy Rye from about last year's when this really came out. I've never really reviewed it. I kind of let it sit because it was a little bit, how should I say, raw, a little bit, I don't want to say too young, but it just wasn't. It's actually a 7-year-old rye. So, but it's getting better as it's oxidizing more. Initially, it had a lot of that Pledge furniture polish. It just smelled like Pledge furniture polish initially to me, really bad. But that's now cleared up. We're still getting the rye. You're still getting the dill now. The dill is finally showing up. Dill and mint are your two common odors and tastes you're going to get on a rye whiskey, which is generally 51% rye or more. The more rye you have, the more intense those odors become. The balance in the corn is with the sweetness. So if you've got a 51% rye, that means you got 49% or not quite 49%, let's say 30-some% corn. That's where your sweetness is going to come from for a rye. So the less corn liquor, the less corn you have in your mash bill, the less sweet a rye generally is. So that's just food for thought right there.
I'll have to try a rye whiskey, but according to you, though, more rye, it's less to be sweet, right?
If you're gonna start with the rye, Alex, I suggest you start with Rittenhouse rye. It's not very expensive, and it's probably the most undervalued of all the rye whiskeys because it's a good rye whiskey and it's not over usually $20 range. It's not much more than that.
Awesome beans. And if I do forget, I can always call you on on Instagram, because I don't know if you know this, but I can talk to people on Instagram.
Mm-hmm. I know. And you can do it on Marco Polo too.
Yeah. I could, so I have two options to get a hold of you anyway, so I'm golden.
It's good though. I mean, we've finally getting the furniture polish. I tried it the other night and I'm finally getting rid of that heavy furniture polish. And that's very unappealing and something I paid this much. This is not a cheap bottle. It was not overly expensive, but when you pay $40 for a bottle, you want it to kind of taste pretty good.
You're not, first of all, in my opinion, I don't know everything because you've done whiskeys for years and years and years. But in my opinion, you shouldn't have to smell nail polish. It's supposed to smell like vanilla.
Well, that comes along with it, though. I mean, you usually get that with younger ryes. This being a 7-year-old rye, you wouldn't expect it. But usually that is something that does come along when you get younger rye whiskeys. And even bourbons that have a high rye content, they can get that way a little bit. And this was not too bad. I'm going to tell you on the nose, I'm getting a lot more dill now. I'm still getting lemon. I'm still getting that wood. I'm still getting a char. I'm still getting a little barrel effect. And, what else? The mint's not really overwhelming here.
But that's what you want, though. You don't want the nail polish smell. You want
you don't. You don't want the acetone. It's kind of like an acetone, lemony acetone. You don't want that. No. And that's not prevalent anymore, thank goodness. Sometimes you got to let a whiskey set a while before it finds its spot. And sometimes it's good right out of the bottle, like a lot, some are, like
basically, like you said, you have to let it breathe. That's what it is.
Yeah. Anyway, that's about all I'm really getting on it, on the nose.
All right. Blacko, you didn't get that thing fixed yet, my friend.
No. There's my New Year's resolution.
There you go. Appreciate you, though.
Before next year.
Before next year.
We're getting the dill. We get a little bit more mint that I didn't get on the nose. We're still getting a lot of wood. This is a very woody one. A lot of the wood notes. There is some vanilla. There is some char. You get a little bit of that charcoaly barrel note, just a little bit though, just enough hanging around. But the vanilla is a little bit more prevalent now, and you're almost getting a popcorn note.
That sounds pretty good.
That occurs occasionally, but this is now. Don't think a heavy popcorn note. Don't think this is going to be like you grabbed a handful of popcorn. That's more like after you're done eating popcorn and 20 minutes later, you get a little bit of that popcorn note that's kind of left over in your mouth that you kind of taste back and you go, that's right, I had popcorn a while ago. It's kind of like that. It's actually getting better. We got a medium long finish now. Very drying. It's not mouth watering. Mouth is drying out. But at 57.5%, you kind of expect that.
I mean, most whiskeys would dry your mouth out.
Not
right?
all, but most, yes, but not all. There is a level of sweetness, almost like there's a level of refined sugar sweetness that's just kind of hanging around. It's not honey. It's not really like marshmallow or any of that. It's more like just a basic refined sugar sweetness. And it comes up in the very tail end of the finish, which is nice because it's not finishing bitter or sour. And those are two things you don't want. I don't. A little bit of bitter, a little bit of sour is okay. But when you get two, one way or the other, then it creates an imbalance. So good stuff. I mean, but like I said, it had to do its time. It had to really. But still not going to get a really high score from me. I've got to compare it to a lot of other whiskeys I've had.
And you have a lot of whiskeys in that house of yours, meaning there's a lot, there could be 100. I'm not saying 100 whiskeys you have. I'm saying there might be whiskeys that you drink that might be, oh, this tastes really good. This might be a 99 or 100 or
right
96 or, one of the best whiskeys in your opinion.
Knob Creek, I've had the rye and I like it, but one of my favorites is just the standard Knob Creek bourbon. Yes. I used to buy that when I was in my early 20s, and when I used to always bring Knob Creek because everybody liked it. It was one of my go-to bourbons. Really good stuff. I do like the rye as well, but the regular Knob Creek was awesome. I mean, it is awesome. It's still I still enjoy it.
Anytime you get these single barrels, John, like this, you're at the subject of the testers. What they do, especially with, and I kind of know some of the guys that pick this barrel, but I don't kind of know them. I know two of the guys that help pick this barrel. What they do is they bring a set of like 5 or 7 barrels into wherever they're meeting them at. It used to be they flew them to Knob Creek, but anymore they don't do that so much. Somebody's echoing me.
It's not me, I don't think.
Anyway, must have been John. Anyway, and then they got to select one of 5 to 7 barrels. Generally, is how that does. And this is what they wanted when they picked a barrel. See, I've got several Knob Creek single barrels in there, and all the Knob Creek single barrels. Knob Creek itself is good, but the Knob Creek single barrels, I've only had one that I kind of go, well, it's all right. All of them have been outstanding. I like them better than I do Booker's. I like them better than I do Baker's. I like them better than I do Basil Hayden's. I mean, they're just they're one of my top whiskeys that if you can get one of those single barrels that's got about 12 or 13 years under it, and the people that picked it are good pickers, you can have one of the best whiskey experiences you've ever had with the Knob Creek single barrel.
Well, don't worry, Robert. If I'm at the store and I can't remember what whiskeys I should try, I'll call you and we'll go from there. And then
I know how I'm going to get through this bottle.
And then you could tell me.
Mixing it with coffee, fantastic.
Well, how about this, Bumpy? Do you have coffee next to you now, or can you make?
Yeah, I already made a mix.
Did you already talk about that, Bumpy?
What? Yeah, I used to call it a hot toddy, but I guess a hot toddy is something else.
No.
I created something.
The whiskey, Bumpy. He's got that whiskey from Moonshiners.
Let me tell you the nose, because the nose was pretty good. It was very hot, like it burnt my nose. I did the whole thing where I kept it away,
wow.
But there was a lot of like vanilla and like you can smell like the white oak. I wasn't getting a lot of char in the nose, but it did smell very woody. Drinking it, it was very hot, like with no water added. It was extremely like my mouth was on fire, burning my lips. It basically tasted like Play-Doh or like a dough, like with a bit of wood.
Okay.
Couldn't really pick up on anything else. Then I added some water and basically it just dulled down the heat a little bit.
So,
Well, thank you, Bumpy, because you're the only one I know that's tried it. So I wanted to hear.
Well, Bumpy, I got a question for you too about that whiskey. Because it's only aged for 24 hours,
right?
Wood fired, whatever they want to call it. Does it say anywhere on the label that they add caramel color to it, or is that just the color that they get from?
No, if you watch the episode that they made this, apparently the colors actually came from the charred or the wood fired oak that they used.
Oh,
yeah, if I remember right. Now we're working on a flawed memory here. But if I remember right, that is made where they have like a process where they run a small electrical current through it, and they add wood chips and like burnt wood chips to it or something like that. White oak wood chips.
Yeah, and it says Tim Smith's century-old whiskey recipe aged with toasted oak, wood imparting color and revolutionary flavors. So it is imparted from the wood itself.
Yeah,
I mean, it looks like a 7-8 year. I mean, the color is remarkable considering what it actually is. It looks like at least a 4 or 5 year aged whiskey just from the color.
Yeah, personally, like the only other real whiskey I've kind of had, which is a bourbon, is I've had Jack Daniels. I've had say that other one there,
Jim Beam.
Jim Beam. I like the Jim Beam most.
Wild Turkey.
It's like sweet. I've had Wild Turkey. Yeah. That one's but no, the Jim Beam I like. It's because it just seems a bit sweeter. But I guess I'm just really not a whiskey person.
Well, honestly, Bumpy, I'm not a big whiskey person either. The only whiskey I drink,
I'm not either.
Real funny, Robert. Real funny. I've seen your collection.
I love it when it's when it's mixed with stuff like beer, like when the like stouts and stuff are barrel aged in the barrels that were used. So I like the flavors that it imparts, but I think just drinking it like as is, it's like it's got great aromas, but it's very harsh for me.
Bumpy, do you have any? I don't know. This is an idea. Do you have any beers that are next to you that you would like to try with that? Because I mean, yes.
You're trying to get me trashed before?
No. It's just I just want your opinion, Bumpy. I don't want you drunk. Thank you very much.
You mean like what John did with mixing it with like a stout?
Right. You get what I'm putting down now. Yeah.
I think it would probably go very well with this, but this is for John, so I
can't.
Don't
do that. No. John, do not do that one. Oh God, Bumpy.
Do it, Bumpy.
No,
because that's a gift to John. I don't want
Short John.
I don't know what it tastes like. This is what I'm going to be doing. It's called Let's Do Brunch.
Awesome. You have
milk stout with coffee and spices. So it says a rich milk stout aged on coffee, cinnamon sticks, and vanilla beans. This beer captures some of the flavors of one of our favorite meals. Now, who wants to get brunch? So I think it might go well with that. I mean, because whiskey with some cinnamon and vanilla and stuff. I mean, the vanilla is already there, so.
All right, go ahead, Bumpy. Now, you have more of those beers to review, right? I hope you do, Bumpy.
You want to see your better half, Flacco. Come on now.
Go ahead, Bumpy. Try it out, my friend.
No, it was just a little side boob action going on. So I
knew when you put the arm up, you were protecting the goods there.
I thought you would.
What are you doing? I do that.
Trying to keep her away from your whiskey.
No. Stand back.
Stay back. The bottle's open.
No, Bumpy, I thought you were going to try that. That's why I suggested to you, Bumpy.
I've never had good
luck.
I
got some whiskey in the coffee. It's good. It's good in the coffee.
This
I'm
one-
gonna drink.
Now that it's been sitting in the open glass for a little bit, I'm kind of getting a sweet caramel smell of it. You know
What do you have, Flacco? I haven't seen. I'm sorry.
This is the Chevel's Regal, the one I've been sipping on, the blended Scotch whiskey.
Oh, that's a good one. That's just a good average blend. I mean,
Yeah, it's pretty good. When I first opened it, or when I first smelled it, it smelled like freaking nail polish remover. But now that it's been sitting in this glass and I've swirled it around a little bit, the nail polish has kind of died down, so it's not burning my nose as much, and I'm getting more of a sweet, caramelly type
you
of.
get any apple notes?
Not really on this one. Not too much. Not that I pick up anyway. Not that I pick up anyway. It's more of a woody, chalky.
Now I want you to think of malto meal, but take the chocolate aspect out of it. That malty taste.
No more.
You should kind of get that malty taste, and generally with Chivas Regal, I got like a fruity appley orchard. Just a hint. I mean, just let it just dwell. Don't take just a drop or two and just let it dwell.
I put some water in my whiskey here, so I'm going to wait a few minutes and see if it has a more flavor thing there. Robert, what happens is I drink it right away, so I'm going to wait a little bit and then I'll try it.
Okay.
Right? Is that what you do, right, Robert?
I guess, yeah. You get some kind of little fruit, but it's a hot fruit though. Like it's
No,
it's got,
yeah, I agree with you. It's not going to be like it's not. Well, after you drink enough, it becomes less hot. But
yeah.
but it should be kind of a slight. There should be always a fruitiness to it, and that grassy malty note should be there. I've always noticed that, but it's kind of pleasant. It's not overwhelming. They balanced that one out completely. I mean, it has character, but it's devoid of a lot of character either one way or the other. And that's the way blends are done, especially Scotch blends. They're meant to appeal to a lot of people's palate across the board so they can sell them. And single malts, they swing hard one way or the other. Blends tend not to do that. So that's and that should be
so this is pretty much a generalized blended Scotch whiskey to favor all, not a specific.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, if you can, I mean, I don't know what you want to spend or not, but you're in Texas, so they have Old Par down there, Grand Old Par, which is one I just did, and I actually prefer that to what you're drinking, and it's going to have a little bit more of a fruitier note, if I can get it, but it's more of dark fruits from the sherry they use, and it'll probably be a more darker fruit intense driven whiskey than what Chivas Regal 12 will.
And that one called, what is it called again?
Grand Old Par. It's kind of a square bottle with a lot of texture on it. It's got an old man's picture on the front. You can't, once you see it, it's a cool bottle. Some of the best packaging I've seen out there. The bottle has texture to it, and it's just cool as heck. But
Ronnie, do you have whiskey? Because this is actually kind of like a whiskey spirit,
not whiskey. Spirits, right?
Any spirit.
brandy.
Is it
Vodka.
Do you have any spirits, Ronnie?
Yep.
Please let me know, because
That's
I
right.
have a link, but I want to see.
it's about $35 to $40 around here.
Oh, really? I can get it in Oklahoma for around $30, give or take $1 or $2. So it's probably a little more expensive, maybe where you're at. I mean, price is always variable by state. It's just the way it is. I can't get it in Kansas. I got to get it in Oklahoma.
I have beer, man. I'm not going to.
Don't worry. Hey, don't worry, Alex.
We don't have.
I'll post the link once we get off of the live part. I'll post the link so Ronnie can join up and hang out with us. Okay.
All right.
Now, Alex.
Oh, look at that! $23.99 at my Total Wine.
There you go.
Store.
That's worth it. That's worth it. And I personally think that's better than Chivas 12. They're both 12-year-old.
This is a 12-year blended Scotch.
Yeah, so is the Chivas you're drinking.
Yeah.
So
nice.
So if I was you, I'd give that a try and just do a comparison between the two. That'll help you establish on a blended scotches kind of help you develop your palate. And it's not going to be solved overnight. Just take your time with it. Pour a little in each glass and just do a running comparison. Now, Alex.
Yes, Robert. Go ahead, my brother.
I don't like Crown Royal. I'm sorry, brother. I've never liked Crown Royal. I got sick on it in 1986, and ever since then, I don't drink it because it brings back horrendously awful memories.
Well, don't drink. Hey, Robert, don't drink the regular one. Just drink the ones that are flavored.
No, I've even tried the Northern Harvest Rye, and it got one of the worst scores I could give anything.
Oh, okay, that's fine. I don't drink whiskey that much, so I'm good. I don't.
I'm not a huge Canadian whiskey. Bourbon is my spirit of choice, and then I've gotten into some of the single malt scotches. That's one of the reasons I wanted to mix this into my beer to kind of, because this is really not that great on its own. It's a good Canadian whiskey, but Canadian whiskey to me in general is just kind of.
Canadian whiskey to me is meant to be mixed. I have had when I had the Crown Royal. The last time I had it, I drank about half the bottle straight out of the bottle. That was not a good day.
Robert.
Well, I have my flaws back then. I have grown up since then.
Robert, keep up the good work, my friend.
I just remember it being overtly sweet, so I couldn't really. I know that's just a tough one. That's something you'll have to muddle your way through, Alex. I'm so sorry.
Robert, you like to try every whiskey. So even though we're talking about, when I was a baby, when you got sick, well, I'm serious because I was born in 86. So
I wasn't around at all.
But
back in
the
1986.
thing is, do you ever put this on your channel? But that's the thing, because you are the whiskey scout, meaning you're scouting everywhere.
Right.
So did you ever put it on your channel?
No, I have never done that one. I've only had my channel.
YouTube wasn't around back in 1986.
Yeah. Well, I've only been doing.
No, I'm talking about now. I'm not talking about.
I've only been doing this for roughly 3 years.
No, you're the whiskey scout because you started when you were Weeblo.
Well, yeah, but that's different. I started drinking then. I didn't start paying attention.
But can you do me a favor, Robert? Can you do a review on this? Yes.
No.
Drink some water. Will you bring some water? Will you?
No.
Robert, stop teasing me.
No.
Mix it with coffee.
You can say everything you want, but Alex, it ain't happening. I'm telling you, brother, straight up, it ain't happening. Period. I have a vile disregard for Crown Royal.
I respect you, Robert. I'm just trying to break your fear. I'm sorry, buddy.
I don't have no fear. I have memories.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like one of the things I can't spiced rum and Dr. Pepper was the first thing when I was a kid and this happened, and I actually got alcohol poisoning. So yeah, I was violently sick. And I couldn't touch Dr. Pepper. I still just can't drink Dr. Pepper.
Yeah, that's kind of how I am with Crown Royal. You can crack that bottle and be upwind for me, and I go, that's Crown Royal. That's how bad it is.
Well, you know what, Robert? It doesn't matter because guess what? There's better whiskeys. And I'm looking forward to trying some more whiskeys maybe. And if I do decide to do that, I might have to do another channel. But I hope.
Alex, a large percentage of America likes Crown Royal. In this case, I'm the problem, not Crown Royal. And I understand that. So I'm good with it though. But I do understand I'm the problem, not Crown Royal.
Hey, Robert, I respect you no matter what. You're good. Appreciate it.
Yeah, if you wanted to try some more whiskeys, Alex, you can go to your liquor store and buy the little baby bottles and just pour up a shot of those every time instead of buying the whole big old bottle.
Yeah, because I would only buy the bottle if I like the whiskey. I'm not gonna have a bottle if I'm not gonna.
No, they have little baby bottles. I know you've seen them. Those little tiny things.
Yeah, like the rum, like this bottle here that I got. It's not whiskey, but it's
little 50 mils. Yeah.
Yep.
These are good. This was the Captain Morgan. So if you don't want a big bottle, I mean that's freaking amazing.
Back when I was younger, we called it
a couple bucks instead of.
Well, but they're called plain bottles. I mean, no. Well,
yeah, we called them airplane bottles back when I was a kid because that's where you always got them was on the airplanes.
Yeah, but I guess it got so popular, you didn't have to just get it on the airplane. You can also get it in the stores.
Oh yeah, you could always get it in the stores, but that's just a just a thing that stuck, a word that stuck. That's a reference that stuck with them.
Well,
Something
technically,
I do want to try.
I mean,
For
technically, it is an
the hard
airplane
liquors.
bottle. Technically,
I want to try. I want to try some brandy. I've had coffee brandy when I was a kid. Once again, I had an alcohol problem when I was a kid. Apparently,
you're real funny, Bumpy.
but yeah, I've never had like
Yeah.
regular brandy where they just.
I could tell you about some good brandies. That there's there's a lot out there, but yeah, brandy. I love some good brandy.
Yeah, man. Only thing was she ended up being a crazy person and hit somebody with her car.
Now, brandy is that like a brother to,
Yeah.
Is that a brother to whiskey? Brandy or no?
Brandy is made with great. It's like if wine was a liquor, that'd be it. It's made with grapes. It's aged in barrels. Now they also have Robert. If you ever can get your hands on some Christian Brothers Sacred Bond, it's a bottled in bond 100 proof brandy that's aged. I believe it's aged in bourbon barrels. That is some good shit right there.
Try that.
If I could, you've had it?
No, I would try it. I've never seen it.
Oh, yeah. Rontario turned me on to that one. I had to special order it because it's not very common, and I don't even know if I can find it around here. But man, I bought, and it's cheap. It's like $20 for a 750 ml, which for the quality that you're getting with that product, it's outstanding. But Christian Brothers makes a VSOP, and which is really good. There's a lot. I mean, brandy. If you like bourbon, if you like whiskey, chances are you'll probably like brandy. Not the cheap stuff. You got to buy. I mean, you can't go buy a $5 bottle of Hartley brandy and expect to be impressed. But I mean, you could buy some pretty good brandy, and it's up there. Like, if I had to rate my spirits in order of like favorite to least favorite, of course, bourbon whiskey would be number one, and then probably single malt Scotch, and then brandy is right there, and then rum under that. So there's some good rums out there too. A lot of people now, Robert. I know you've tried some good rum over the years. So
yeah, I'm not.
You've got a few interesting bottles in your collection now that you were kind of showing off too long ago, but.
Yeah, those are mostly reference from other people. Like, actually, I bought the San Teresa because I was with Malta de Montreal, was down in Oklahoma City, and he kept talking about it. And I finally located one and purchased one because he said it's a really good rum, dark rum. And I like the little bottles of the Pompeo, and I bought those because, again, it was a cool bottle, and I'm a sucker for marketing. I'll be the first to admit that. So I bought that, and it actually turned out to be very good. It has a lot of dark whiskey oak notes to those rums. Both of them are Venezuelan rums, by the way. But I've had a lot of rums that it's okay. I mean, better mixed than straight,
Right.
Yeah.
So
Alex, we could keep going. I mean, it's your show. I don't know what.
I think we're gonna and I'm gonna give this whiskey. Actually, you know what? It's a delicious whiskey. I don't know if I'm gonna give ratings yet because I haven't done a whiskey review ever. So,
Oak Heart.
it's a very good whiskey. It's very delicious. I would get it again if I could.
Yeah, most people will with Crown Royal, Alex. Alex, that's very common. Most people like Crown Royal. I'm just the exception to the rule.
This brings me back to the eggnog night.
That was a night.
No, but I'm just saying I haven't done any whiskey reviews yet. So I'm just gonna say I like this whiskey. I'll get it again. Once I start doing whiskey reviews, if I decide to do that, then I'll start doing ratings. But this is my first whiskey doing a review on my channel. So,
well, I haven't reviewed this yet on my channel, and the rating may change even between now and then. But right now, I'd set at 88 on it. I've had a lot better ryes, and I've had a lot worse ryes. It's the ABV helps keep it a little better than it probably would be. If it was at a lower ABV, it would probably start to get a little too watery and a little too muted in its flavor profile. So,
you know what?
88.
I'm gonna scratch that. I'm gonna give this an 86. This is a. I'm gonna give it a rating. It's 86. It's a very good whiskey, and that's that.
Yeah, I think I like rum more than whiskey.
Nothing wrong with that.
Well, no, I honestly agree with that, Bumpy. I like whiskey. I like to try different things, but I like rum better because rum has a better sweetness to it.
But it's made with brown sugar, right?
But Bumpy, your view of that is skewed by the whiskey you just had. I could give you some whiskey that would be a lot better than that, and it would probably maybe make you rethink that a little bit. But that what you've had is not really forced aged whiskey is never going to.
Right.
I have my.
It took me a while. It took me a while to get into spirits just in general. One of the books that I read, I always talk about this book because I think it's an excellent book for anybody who's trying to get into whiskey in general. Tasting Whiskey by Lou Bryson. There's a section in that book, and it talks about the wall, getting over that alcohol wall. When you first start drinking spirits in general, like if you're going from beer to a spirit, you're going from like a 5 to let's say 10% on average. With beer, you're going up to 40, 50, even higher percent alcohol on some of these products. So that burn, that alcohol presence is going to be very prevalent, very up and in your face. And you have to break through that burn, that wall. You have to get through that to get to the little nuances and the flavor and the, all of the different complexities that the product have to offer, whether it's whiskey, brandy, rum, whatever. That alcohol presence is so strong, and anybody, I don't care who you are, the first time you drink a spirit like that, it's going to be very intimidating. It's going to be very probably unpleasant the first time you do something like that. But if you're interested in all these great products, you have to kind of get through that wall, that initial burn and alcohol explosion that's going on your palate. And then once you do get through that, and the more experienced of a drinker that you become, like Robert the Whiskey Scout there, he probably doesn't pick up on the alcohol nearly as much as I would say 90+% of us, normal blokes or whatever you want to call us. So it takes time to develop your palate and to get those experiences, to get through that alcohol burn. But I promise you, and I'm sure Robert would agree with me because I've gotten through it, and I've bought some really. That's why I love bourbon so much, because once you get through that, there's some incredible stuff out there. But you have to be patient and you have to be willing to do that if it's something that you're interested in.
Like I said, I like whiskey somewhat, but I like the bourbon better because the bourbon's better or sweet to me, and sometimes whiskey's sweet to me. It all depends on how the burn is. But
I'll give you guys a bourbon if you can get it. I don't know the distribution in your area, but it's called Jim Beam Distiller's Cut. It ranges from $18.99 to $22.99, depending on where you get it, or even more expensive maybe in your state. But look for that.
I used to pick up the giant jugs like Drewski.
No, not the Jim Beam White. It's called Jim Beam Distiller's Cut. It's a 6-year-old 100 proof or 101 proof. I don't know. I drank all mine. Bourbon. And it's probably going to be the best, least expensive bourbon you're going to get on the shelf. And you will like it. If you like, take your time. Remember, when you're sipping whiskey out of a cup or a glass or a tasting glass, one drop at a time. You don't want to try to force it. You're only looking for 1, 2, 3 little drops in your mouth. Let it caress and cascade over your tongue. Let it mix with your saliva. Just let it sit there and absorb and think about it. Don't overthink it either. There's some people that overthink this stuff. Don't overthink it. It'll come to you with time. And just once a night, once every other night, just pour a little bit in a glass and just work with it. But that's a great starting point for whiskey.
Remember, the spirit in your glass is not running from you.
Yeah.
What does that mean, John?
That's probably the wrong thing to do.
That means enjoy it.
It means take your time and enjoy it.
That's what I was about to say. It's not running from you. Enjoy it, taste it, and then swallow it, basically. That's what Robert's basically saying.
What did you say that book was called, John?
By Lou Bryson.
What was that book called? whiskey book you were talking about?
Oh, it's called Tasting Whiskey by Lou Bryson, Lew Bryson, Bryson.
Okay.
I just love it. I've read it a couple times, and it's Robert's got it too. There you go. That's it right there. I love that book. It helped me learn a lot about whiskey. I feel like my palate is still very young when it comes to whiskey, bourbon in particular, because I really love bourbon. And some of these notes, like I always want to say caramel, toffee, some nice woody notes, vanilla, this, that, and the other, like very base. I have a very basic understanding of what I should be picking up on, but like my palate, it's exciting because there's so much out there that I still haven't experienced yet that I'm looking forward to. But yeah, that's a great book if you're interested. And it's not just for bourbon. It goes through every style individually. It talks about the processes, what qualifies each as its distinct style, how each style is made. And then it goes through like some really good, products that you should probably try if you're, once your palate gets to that point where you're picking up on all these things.
Nice.
What's that?
I said gives you some recommendations on which ones to pick up, huh?
Well, yeah, it talks a lot about it. It gets specific about some specific whiskeys and different notes that in each one. And it's a very informative book if you're interested in that kind of thing.
I am definitely going to try to go pick one up at the local bookstore.
I ordered mine on Amazon. And
ordered on Amazon.
It got it shipped to my house in 2 days. So.
Yeah, you can get used ones for half or less of the normal price, and that way you're not tied into something. Because I buy some books new, but I think I got that one actually used.
Huh.
It's been a couple of years since I've bought it.
I actually want to pick up a beer tasting book. I know they have them out there.
Yeah, I bought one because I had to learn things like what's a white IPA the other day. I had to look that one up. When I was on Trish's, I never had a white IPA.
I've never had one either.
Now, is it called Avalanche? Accumulation by New Belgium. That's what I was drinking on Trish's, and so I looked it up, and it's like a wit beer, a wheat beer, I guess. Wit beer.
You know what I haven't had either? One of those, what do they call them? White stouts or something like that.
Yeah, I've never seen one of those. I've only seen you guys try them.
Yeah, I've had one. There's one from, I don't even know the name of it's called Cranky something, but they did have a white coffee stout.
I've had a few white stouts. The best one I've ever had is called Circles of the Sun. It's from a local brewery here. It was a toasted coconut white stout.
Well, that sounds
one
good.
though that's very popular that you can pretty much buy. I don't know about nationwide, but they have really good distribution. Everybody knows about Dragon's Milk, right? New Holland, Michigan. They make one called Dragon's Milk White, and it's their white stout, 6% alcohol, and it is a very good representation of a white stout. So if it's a style that you haven't experienced and you want to try something that is going to be pretty good, see if you can find the Dragon's Milk White Stout, and that'd be a good one to start with.
Ronnie asks a white IPA. White actually stands for wheat. It's a wheat beer that they hop like an IPA, so it's a wheat IPA. So when you hear like white, it's white in America. It's wit in like Belgium and stuff like that, like a wit beer, white beer. Same thing.
You know what's funny? Thank God I've actually titled this this stream New Year's blowout, because we're talking about whiskey, we're talking about all that good stuff, but we can also talk about other things, and that also kind of made me feel better.
Well, now we just have to have the giant blowout. Let's get in an argument.
Come on.
Somebody hit somebody.
I feel like somebody punched me in the ribs last night.
I love it.
After that last thing with Ronnie a few weeks ago, I will not do that ever again.
Yeah. Well, shit happens. I think I'm gonna I don't know how long you guys are gonna be on here, but I think I'm gonna start.
I'm probably gonna sign off. Before I sign off, though, let's talk to the chat because I really get into this zone and I keep forgetting to talk to the chat. I've done well in the past couple times.
It hadn't been too crazy. It's been Jeremy's in there. Ronnie says yo. Trish is sick, so she's not joining.
Yeah.
She said this is the first New Year's she hasn't in a long time that she hasn't drank. She got a big bottle of Asti and Irish cream unopened. Of course, she got Flacco and then he joined. Ronnie S. And Jeremy. Jeremy says that Robert stole his collection.
Yeah.
Well, no,
I saw the other night, wasn't it? It was on some stream I was watching, and somehow Jeremy took your background,
Yeah.
all of your whiskey bottles, and put it behind him. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, he did a good job with that.
well, no, Trish got the Irish Bailey for this, but she just
Right. She's just it sounds like her whole family, they've got the flu or something going on.
Yeah, so
And they're all miserable. Ronnie says he's got some Bud Ice to ring in the new year. Yeah, then Ronnie S is talking a lot, and then he says he's going to do a whiskey review on his channel. And Jeremy says, "Heck yeah, Ronnie, I'd watch." And Ronnie S says, "Where's Drunken One is working on New Year's. That bastard."
yeah, I sent him the link, but he didn't obviously.
Well, yeah, he's busy. He's working. He'll that sucks. He'll be on later, I'm sure.
Come
And
on.
That's true. So
that's pretty much it for the chat, though.
thank you for the chat. Thanks for joining. I'm trying to engage with the chat instead of being rude because I get so excited. I get too involved. You know how it works. All these YouTubers do that.
I don't think anybody would ever accuse you of being rude, Alex.
No, because I'm awesome.
You're golden.
I'm golden.
You're golden.
And yes, I appreciate you all joining, my friends. Stay tuned for Friday. We're gonna have pastries. So we're gonna be having that. And I want you guys' opinion. Do you think I should do a second channel if I'm gonna do
That's awesome.
different food? If I'm gonna
No.
A little
You've
fair.
already got it rolling on your.
You've already just do it on this on your channel.
yeah, but I'm saying if I decide to do whiskey and stuff like that, this is not called whiskey reviews. It's called Alex the Beer Master.
Well, it's not called Alex's Food Reviews either. You're Alex the Beer Master, but you do Food Friday. So what's the
Yeah,
difference?
you're right. You're right. It's like Jerry Ford, the beer review guy. He does all sorts of stuff on his channel, even though he's called beer review guy. So,
Right, literally does.
And I'm Bumpy Road Brewery, and most of what I'm doing is beer tasting instead of actually brewing.
So guess
Right,
what?
there you
Well, no, but you're still brewing, but you're not brewing as much. Yeah, that's true.
Well, that was
And
my
I
first
do whatever the
channel.
hell I
My
want
first
on
channel
my
was
channel. I don't
just
care.
do home brewing stuff.
Yeah,
And then
but
it
now
kinda
you realize that you can have fun with your channel and still do home brewing and do beer reviews. So technically, that's what I'm doing. Hey, I'm having fun.
Having fun's the key, Alex.
So thank you for joining chat. I appreciate it. Thank you, Bumpy. Thank you, John. Thank you, Robert. And thank you, Flacco. And Ronnie, we're going to be sending you the link out in a second once I sign off. So this is Alex, the Beer Master, signing out. See you all on Friday around 8 o'clock called Pastries.
Okay, I gotta buy something.
It's Alex, the Beer Master, signing out.
Cheers.
Peace out.
Another one. You just got to host it.